Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the
This meeting is being recorded.
June regular meeting of the West Sacramento Area Flood Control Agency. I want to remind everyone that pursuant to the Governor's Executive Order number N29-20, members of the West Sacramento Area Flood Control Agency and its staff will participate in this meeting via teleconference to reduce the spread of COVID-19. Members of the public have been asked to watch the meeting via the live stream on the City of West Sacramento meeting website and to have submitted comments in writing by 8 a.m. This morning. So we'll begin the agenda by first asking if there was any presentation or comments by members of the public. I show that there has not been any, so thank you. We'll move on to item 1B, which is report out on our closed session earlier this morning.
Good morning, Chair Ramos. The board met in closed session on the two items listed on the closed session agenda and took no reportable action.
Tom, you're on mute.
Have I been on mute?
No, you were doing fine till that last minute.
Okay, must have hit the wrong button, sorry. We'll start with next item is item 1C, our monthly and year-to-date revenue and expense reports.
Okay, good morning, members of the board and staff. I'll be reporting out on the revenue and expenditures for the month of April 2021. In Fund 870, our beginning balance started at approximately $2.99 million. There was no revenue and expenditures were $176,000, making the ending position at $2.81 million. In our Fund 871, the beginning balance was approximately negative $2.27 million. The agency finally received $6.91 million, and the majority of that was due to the Southport partial retention release. And so expenditures for the month totaled $559,000, making Fund 871's ending position at $4.08 million. At the end of the month, the combined cash position was at $8.95 million. So we're finally like in the black, not in the red. And as of June 7th, 2021, the agency's combined cash position was approximately $8.72 million. So quarter 38 was already approved, which I previously mentioned, and we're still waiting for the letter. And quarter 39 was submitted to state and still going through review. I think that's it. Please let me know if you have any questions for me or for staff.
Questions from the board? Okay, thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is the consent agenda, which consists of two items. The consideration of a resolution, two resolutions to determine the flood control assessment and to approve collection through the Yolo County Secured Tax Roll for fiscal year 2021-22, and as well as the approval of our May 20th, 2021 minutes. Is there any other questions? I see we do have folks from the finance department from the city if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
So moved by, and first and seconded by Akala and Ledesma. Would the clerk please take the roll?
Sure, pleasure. Okay. Director Ledesma.
Aye.
Vice Chair Akala.
Aye.
Chair Ramos.
Aye.
Consent agenda is approved. Right, thank you all.
Okay, motion carries. And I'll at this point, realization that I did not ask for the roll call. We'll consider that roll call to also say who all was attended the meeting today. Oh, thank you. On to item 4A, which is the WSAFCA project updates. Greg, you're the star of the show today, so go ahead.
All right. Let me maneuver my screen here. Okay. So a few things to point out from the progress report. The restoration area is just being actively managed for the summer. I think we're currently on a 3-day-a-week irrigation schedule. I don't know if that has changed recently, Paul, or not, due to the really hot weather we're having, but but they're actively managing that. On the federal project, we're still in the process of closing out all the comments to get that final design essentially, quote unquote, on the shelf. And then the environmental document is getting wrapped up finally. And so I think we're anticipating having a public meeting or public hearing in July, and then hopefully bringing that item, the CEQA portioning ways, to the board in August for adoption. And that should be right on, that should dovetail nicely with our schedule now that we have the new start. As long as that, pans out in the appropriations bill, which it should, then we'll be ready to go next year. Economic update has taken a really long time with the Corps. So we're just sort of patiently waiting to finish their calculations and see what our new BCR is. But that should not be a factor moving forward with the new start. So that's good news. On the advocacy side of things, as everybody's well aware, we got the new start in the president's budget, and along with $17.9 million. I think the total initially requested by the Corps was right around 35 million. And then, as I understand, every year during this process, the Corps says, how much do you want and how much can you live with? And we were awarded the how much can you live with amount. So we do anticipate there being, when there currently are some discussions with Congresswoman Matsui and the district to look at plussing up our project through the appropriations bill process, as well as the Corps work plan process. So conversations are actively taking place where the Congresswoman may keep our project as one of her earmarks, and perhaps request up to, let's say, up to $5 million additional dollars for our project. And then the Corps, we're hoping, will continue to voice their capability of $35 million. And then, assuming that Congress plusses up the Corps' budget in the appropriations bill, then a work plan will follow, and the Corps can request those additional funds for our project. So between the Congresswoman through the earmark process and the Corps through the work plan process, hoping to get approximately $17 million more for the project for the Corps. So that's the big game plan. And then there's still, we're still working the infrastructure package and lobbying for lots of money for the Corps in that bill. So we're gonna have to wait and see, when that happens and then what it contains, because that's another vehicle for us to get additional funds for the project. So fingers crossed there. And that really is about it. We did have our community rating system cycle visit on June 1st. And they've sent what they call a 30-day letter. It's asked for additional information. And Brian's been doing a really good job of corralling all those documents and working with other folks in the city to get the information back to FEMA. Hopefully we maintain our rating of 6. So stay tuned for that. One thing to note for pre-emergency preparedness, in a meeting that we have a monthly coordinating meeting with RD900, WSAFCA, the fire department, a couple other folks, just to talk about overall flood coordination. And it looks like this fall we may include a tabletop exercise with our normal pre-flood season coordinating meeting. And that's the meeting where the reclamation districts, the state, the Corps attend, and we sort of talk about the forecast for the winter. We go over, stockpile information and kind of go over how we might communicate and react in the face of a potential high water event. And so just kind of dusting the cobwebs and refreshing everybody's mind how we're going to coordinate it should we need to. Anyway, so tabletop exercise likely going to occur at the same time this year. And that pretty much wraps it up for me. Happy to answer any questions. Do you have any?
Any questions? Okay, no questions. Greg, I have
Thanks,
just a comment in the, I know you guys will do this when the time is right, but as we start to anticipate the new start and the federal money's coming in, we have local share and participation and commitments that we'll be making. It would be interesting down the road to kind of see how that all applies to our current resources and stuff and how it plays out. It would be interesting to see the details of that in the near future.
Yeah, and you're right, Tom. We are actively working on that, quote unquote, as we speak. Now that we're doing a different type of cash flow modeling that includes the 5% cash request from the Corps based on how much money they receive, how much credit we anticipate being able to use. So what's the net request from the Corps? How much of it can be provided as work in kind versus writing a check? So all of those factors are now going into a different type of cash flow model that we're ramping up. And then we have meetings scheduled with our treasurer for sources of funds, and we're going to try and map that out as best we can. So once we have a game plan, and of course there's different scenarios, what kind of funding stream do we anticipate the Corps getting for our project? Is it going to be, do we get all of it or half of it in the infrastructure bill? That's one scenario. Is the Corps going to receive $100 million a year for our project? Another scenario. Is the total project cost $1 billion, or is it closer to $650 million? Another scenario. So we're going through all of those iterations so we can be prepared for however this rolls out.
Very good. Very good. Okay, well, thank you. Exciting times. Let's hope it all comes through and is completed in the next few months, and we can really start working towards new projects. So thank you. Any directors' comments?
None from me.
Okay. If not, I'd like to bring up one subject, and Norma and Chris, you may have more information, but is the council and/or other commissions moving towards live meetings here at some point in the future? And if so, I think we should consider that as well.
I know the city is starting to contemplate it. Aaron has been in touch with us about when that might take place. I think staff is just starting to get back to some degree, finding out when we could do it. It probably, from his last indication, might be more of a hybrid model. I'm not quite sure he has a timetable on, but yeah, we're starting to talk about it.
Okay. It's not that we're having a whole bunch of business going on right now, but that's public access. It's there, but it's not the same as a in-person meeting. So we'll see how it goes.
I just
We'll
wanted to
follow
say,
the city's lead.
right. I wanted to mention, I think, it's necessary to be cautious. I mean, we all watch the news. We've heard about variants. of the virus. So I think, it's just really necessary for us to always have that in the back of our minds. Right now, it's summer, but according to what we've been hearing on the news, we really won't get a full picture until sometime closer in the fall. So I just want to keep that in mind.
Okay. Okay, very good. If there's no other comments from the directors or staff, I will call this meeting adjourned. And thank you very much, and talk to you next month.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.